Hi, y'all. My creator insight said you guys want to hear about pronouns. And so my pronouns are he, they. This is my pride flag, Progress 2.0. I think pronouns are really important because while labels don't always have to define you, some of you guys find it important. What is important to you is what's important to you, right? So one thing I find really important for students and for anyone that is in the LGBT community is be able to identify who you are so you can find better ways to express yourself. Your happiness is what matters because you are what matters. You are your own main character, right? So it's really important to have pronouns just so people can find who they are and identify themselves as they would like to be, because who you are is who you are, you know? Your happiness is what matters. Your joy is your joy. Yeah, pronouns are just descriptors. It's fine.
What did you just say?
And so my pronouns are he, they.
That doesn't make sense.
So that young lady we just heard from in the first clip who uses he, they pronouns is a public school teacher in Florida. Now, I'm not quite for sure exactly what grade she teaches, but I'd be willing to bet that it's probably pretty young kids for her to think that she can actually convince her students that she's a he, they. Homeschool your children. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a very crazy Clown World update for you guys today, and as usual, we have very little time to waste. So let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment. So this old timer with the yellow dress on is Doreen. Now, Doreen is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and calls himself a lesbian. Now, shockingly enough, Doreen will only date cis lesbians and only use ladies' restrooms. Wait, what?
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Let's keep this party rolling with this young fella who claims he's a doctor, and he says the #1 issue on everyone's mind for the upcoming election in November is reproductive rights. It's the economy, stupid. It's always the economy, stupid. Roll it.
Well, I just got done knocking about 40 doors in Norristown, Pennsylvania for Joe Biden and all the Democrats up and down the ballot. And the #1 issue on everyone's mind, reproductive rights. And as a doctor, I couldn't agree more. So if you're out today knocking doors in Pennsylvania or around the country, thank you so much. Let's get out the vote, people. Vote blue up and down the ballot.
What did you say?
And the #1 issue on everyone's mind, reproductive rights. And as a doctor, I couldn't agree more.
You're not a doctor.
You're a fucking idiot.
With the economy in shambles, an invasion at our southern border, and a president that doesn't even know his own name, I don't know one person that's worried about reproductive rights in the next election. Anyway, next up, so this lovely young lady has a message for white people. Roll it.
Dear white people, you don't have to do that. That fake ass smile when you walk past me, because I could care less. Keep that fake shit that way.
She seems nice.
Hey, where are the white women at?
All right, next up we have this photo of a biological woman who identifies as a trans man. Hey guys, bear with me for 1 second here. Goose, for those that don't know, Goose is my French bulldog, our channel mascot here. He's been mulling around under my desk, and I think he might have knocked a couple of wires loose because I'm getting some weird glitching here on my screen. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm going to see if I can fix it. So just bear with me for 1 second. I'll leave this picture here on the screen. Give me 1 second, guys. Thanks. I apologize. Hang on.
My name's
Clarissa!
and I'm the prettiest princess in the whole party because that's what my mom said. And if you say that I'm not, then my mom said that I can
Rip your head off!
My mom's dead. She died. And I talk to her sometimes. And I talk to her.
What the f*** was that?
All right. right, I think we are all set. Yep, we're back. All right, good. Once again, I apologize, guys. Goose was down there. He knocked a couple of wires loose, so you may have seen a little blip on your end, but we're back in business, so let's carry on. As I was saying, here we have a biological woman who identifies as a trans man wearing a jersey that says, "Trans dudes are hotter." What?
If that is a woman, it does look like she was beaten with an ugly stick.
So this individual, who is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman, says that if you are a trans woman taking estrogen, your body is no different than that of a cis woman, even if you still have the wedding tackle. How does that make sense? Roll it.
For all intents and purposes, if you're a trans woman taking estrogen, you have a biologically female body. You have a body that is no different than a cis woman's. So what about the gawk? If you take estrogen, you have a female endocrine system, meaning your body's hormone regulation is the same as any other female. That's what happens when you take bioidentical estrogen, right? But most trans women don't have a full female reproductive system, meaning their body is not necessarily making the hormones on its own, though it can, and it will. If you take a high enough dose of estrogen, your body stops making testosterone. If you have ovaries or a uterus because you're intersex, your body will naturally make estrogen. If you have abnormal chromosomes, your body might just naturally produce estrogen or no T at all. Though some cis women do actually have penises. And I'm not talking about bottom growth, though that does happen to cis women too.
You get wacky on me. What the f*** are we talking about here?
All right, so it would appear that we found the emo version of Napoleon Dynamite. Roll it.
When you do your eyeliner and flatten your hair, but you get caught in the rain because the rain comes out of nowhere, you don't have an umbrella.
Idiot.
All right, next up. So this young lady is going to explain to us how the term 100% is racist. Oh, this should be good. Roll it.
You honestly cannot make this crap up. The Anti-Defamation League, totally not biased at all, now says that 100% as a phrase is a hate symbol. Why, you might ask? Apparently, saying 100% colloquially is shorthand among white supremacists and is therefore hate speech and basically needs to be outlawed from society. Of course, they'll wait until the very end of their little dissertation on why 100% is white supremacy to tell you that most uses of the phrase are not, in fact, white supremacist in nature. Meanwhile, last year, the Ontario Mathematics Association in Canada actually said in a webinar that there's abundant white supremacy in math, including that 2 + 2 = 4 as a phrase is covert white supremacy.
That is the stupidest thing I ever heard of. Jesus Christ.
Hey guys, real quick, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors of today's video. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let this loop on the screen now. I don't think this young lady was stung on her lips by a bunch of bees. I think this looks deliberate. Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by our first sponsor is Patty Howe. And Patty, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. I really appreciate the support. Second sponsor of today's video is Jared Gertzen. Jared, thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate the kind words and support. So today's video sponsors are Patty Howen and Jared Gertzen. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. All right, get this off the screen. That looks painful. Oof.
You look ridiculous.
All right, next up we have this crazy man on the street interview clip, but it's actually a woman on the street interview clip because it's from Savannah Hernandez, and she does some fantastic work. But here she's asking these people if babies should have gender on their birth certificates. Roll it.
I feel like it does make a lot of sense to do that, and that gender doesn't really do much. Like, it doesn't really matter.
If my child wants to grow up being a female, and with me, Believe it or not, I take off my hat, I look like a male. I don't think of myself as a female. I think of myself as a pansexual. I am a male trapped in a female's body. And honestly, if my child doesn't have to have the gender on his birth certificate, that'd be fucking awesome.
Honestly, I'd go for it. Because the fact that if they want to grow up as a male, then that's fine. If they want to grow up as a female, that's even better.
If he wants to become a girl later on, I'm so for it. I'll tell him, what hospital do you want to go to right now?
What are your thoughts as a trans person on us removing gender from birth certificates?
At least for like IDs, I don't think it should be required to have sex on there because that excludes non-binary people. That puts trans people in very uncomfortable positions, especially if they can't pass very well. I think it would be pretty helpful though, because I think that as a whole, society just needs to stop prioritizing the sex of their child as and then we'll have a baby boy forever. No, maybe she's trans, or maybe, your little girl is going to grow up and you're going to have to, have a son later.
And there seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
Now, before we wrap today's video up, I wanted to include this inspiring and motivational message from this lovely young lady. Roll it.
Just a reminder that Vlad the Impaler didn't even start impaling people until his mid-30s. It's never too late to maybe probably live your dream.
All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping it up with this clip of what could possibly be the dumbest human being ever in American politics. Congresswoman Maxine Waters, out of California, I believe. Now, I'm sure most of you remember several years ago when she told her followers that if they see Trump supporters out in public at a restaurant, at a gas station, wherever, to confront them and let them know that they're not welcome. She said that. Here's a quick recap of that in case you missed it.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
So you saw that, you heard that. Well, the universe does this thing called karma, and apparently somebody approached Maxine Waters at a restaurant and told her they didn't like her policies or her rhetoric. Now, of course, that's racist. Oh no, they didn't say anything racist to her. Just approaching her and saying anything negative is racist. You can't make this shit up. Anyway, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, guys, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time, love you guys. Peace. Roll it.
As a member of Congress with people, who evidently had a racist attitude, and recently one even confronted me in a restaurant. Good. And they don't say racist things, but what they say is they don't like something I said. They don't like a position that I took. But that, if you were not Black, you would not be approached that way.
They probably would not. They would think twice about doing it. They think that they can get away with doing it with you and that you're.
What did you say? What the f did you just say?
And recently one even confronted me in a restaurant, and they don't say racist things, but what they say is they don't like something I said.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
And you ain't Black.